Jeep showed its brand new Grand Cherokee way back in April 2009 at the New York International Auto Show. Since then, Chrysler's gone through bankruptcy, Fiat has taken over, and a lot of people have asked me, so when will Chrysler have new product? Well, the 2011 Jeep Grand Cherokee finally is here. Let's go for a drive. So what's it like in here? Well, you know, I've always liked the Jeep Grand Cherokee. I've always thought it was a pretty good combination of a great Jeep off-road ability and decent dynamics for a sport utility. Pretty decent handling, pretty decent ride. This one's better. I mean, they've improved it. The steering is just perfectly weighted for this type of vehicle. It's fairly light, but it's direct, and you get good feedback from the steering wheel. I like the ride and the handling. The handling is very good for a tall vehicle like this. It can handle the corners pretty well. It does start to wallow when you push it real hard, but I'm talking about pushing it way harder than most people would ever try a sport utility in the corners. The brakes are decent too. It's not a sports car, of course. It's not trying to be something else the way, say, a BMW X5 or X6 is, but it's a very good, capable on-road car. All right, so enough talk about all these electronic gizmos. We're at Moab. Let's go off-roading. So Jeep brought us out here to Moab, Utah. Popular place with mountain bikers, popular place with off-roaders. It's a pretty extreme place. I mean, we were on some pretty narrow rock. We were very steep going uphill, going downhill, into some sand. On top of the quadra-drive, quadra-track systems that Jeep has always offered in the Grand Cherokee, it's added this new Select Terrain system for the 2011 model. Now, this is a system similar to what we've seen from Land Rover for several years. The driver gets to select the setting depending on what kind of road he or she is on. Most people will just set it in automatic and let it go. The serious off-roader will want to know about the sand and mud mode, which raises the ride height by a little bit more than 2.5 inches and adds a little bit more rear-wheel drive bias out of the four-wheel drive system. This makes it pretty easy to crawl up those very steep, rocky kind of terrains in extreme conditions. You hit the rock setting, and I only had to do this 2 or 3 times briefly in this 7 or 8 mile run, and it raises the ride height another ½ inch or so and adds a little bit more rear wheel drive bias and gets you up those rocks that are seemingly impossible to drive up. On top of this, the Grand Cherokee retains a 37.1 foot turning radius, which is pretty car-like. The Jeep Grand Cherokee can do anything that any Jeep can do off-road. It can do anything that any Land Rover could do off-road. And yet it's better on-road than a Land Rover. It's more refined, more capable, smoother, handles better than most Land Rovers when you're on pavement, which is where most people will still drive these. And it's less expensive. The Overland can get pretty expensive, but we're still not talking Land Rover sticker price territory. So this is a better deal for you.